league doesn't value that. It's just, but it kind of mirrors that Jeremy Lin story, where it's just like, you're in these situations, you're not getting, when he was talking, he was in the, I think it was the Rockets camp, and like he's like essentially the fifth point guard. He's like, you're not getting even practice reps, and he's like, I'm not even sweating in practice. That's how I'm not getting reps.
Yeah,
and then
it's different from what I'm talking about, but I can see what you're saying. It's in the same
well, but it's
lane.
all opportunity. It's all opportunity.
Yeah.
Then like he finally got on the Knicks, and he was kind of like not getting minutes, and then they randomly gave him an opportunity, and he really didn't do anything with it. And then the next day, his agent's like, hey, if they play you again, like or they're getting ready to cut you. If they play you again, you got to do something.
Yeah. What happened? Yeah.
And so,
yeah,
there's just a lot to that.
So far,
as far as that goes, that you have to take the opportunity if it's there.
But see, my argument, well, not argument, but my take on it, my view on it is that it's a different with the tanking teams.
Yeah.
Because I feel like, because I think that like the Jeremy Lin thing was. It was like a regular NBA functioning teams that he was on, bouncing from place to place.
Tanking
and he just needed an opportunity.
Then. Tanking was not as prevalent then.
But like when you get on a team where the entire league knows that team is trying to lose games on purpose, and that's the only reason why you're there. Okay, now, but as the person, I see what you're saying. You could say, "Hey, I started an NBA game," and also,
it's just
when Hassani was here. We skirted around and asked him, and he was like, "It benefited me for overseas.
It does that,
not for the NBA, but for overseas. I was able to say I played 4 games, 5 games in the NBA. My check, my money. I need extra thousands now.
Yeah, for sure. No, it 100% does. I mean, and it'll do the same for Blake if he makes the decision to go overseas.
Right.
And what like the thing. Unless you're in the two-way thing, the G League money is not that great. It's kind of bad in a lot of ways. And so what a lot of people will do is they will come out of college, get on a G League team and have the idea I'm going to be here for maybe 2 to 3 years to see if I can make something happen.
Yeah.
See if I can get the call up. See if I can get to a two-way or get to a full contract if everything goes great.
Right.
And if they don't get that, or maybe they just get like the cup of coffee in the league, then it's like, I can't keep making this money. I'm not going to play that long. And it's like, okay, let me go overseas. I can get over 6 figures. I can, maybe if everything goes right, get $1 million or more.
Exactly.
In that, and just, that becomes your path and your basketball life and story.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, if you're the player, you can't turn it down, and definitely. I mean, it's still an audition, and it might be an audition for the league, it might be an audition for overseas, but it is what it is.
It is what it is.
And the tanking teams are going to provide a lot of those sort of unique opportunities that the better teams just simply don't have. So you have to take it where it comes, but yeah, I mean, it's going to be looked at a little bit skeptically, but I don't think like if you're looking at a player. I'm not necessarily looking at a guy. If you're looking at a player who's essentially kind of playing up to a new environment, I'm not measuring that player by wins and losses. I'm measuring that by a player by, does he fit? Does he have something that has value at this level? Can he defend well enough? Is he kind of smart enough in the way he plays that he fits? And then does he have a skill? Maybe the skill is defense. Maybe it's rebounding. Maybe it's shooting or whatever. That's what I'm looking at. I'm not looking at that player and saying, is his team winning or losing? Because he's not. If you're getting a cup of coffee in the league, you're not responsible for winning or losing. There's other people on the team that's their thing.
Yeah, Lori Martin.
And so yeah, you're gonna fucking loser. Yeah, I had to bring him up. But yeah, but I'm just looking. Hey, can this guy help our team? Is he a guy that we can look at closer, and just basically see it from there?
No, I'm with you. No, that was a good way. Let's start the show.
Oh, Jesus!
Listen, man, I hit a bitch one time, man, the baby was bouncing all over the bed.
Cut through the texture of pasta, I stretch to the father. My demons can't be stressing my daughter. Sweat.
Greatest football player arguably to ever live. Ed Reed, the greatest safety arguably to ever live in the entire universe. All right? Why y'all not going on live? Miami been trashed for fucking how long now? God damn.
I like you got on some skates. I like you got on some skates. I like you got on some skates.
I want somebody to invent something like, say like, I love oxtail. If I can eat some that tastes like oxtails while I'm down there, just for that moment.
He's on my back, you know what I mean? And, you know, I think, you know, I feel like his thing is like on my neck.
I've had two guys.
Same time?
No, I'm not that girl.
Man.
The best
Appreciate
motherfucking podcast in Orlando, Florida.
You already know.
We
the
appreciate
Sunshine
it.
State, man.
Welcome back. You're back on the bench podcast with Bubba and Pink.
Some epic moments in that montage.
I know. We gotta get a editor to do a new one soon, man.
Yeah.
Capture some of our newer stuff here, man.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, for sure, man. Once again, we got a really good show for you guys today. We're going to be talking about some NBA stuff, Rookie of the Year. You got the New Orleans Pelicans. They're beefing with Stephen A. Smith. Some college basketball stuff with AJ. NFL news and updates. There's a local Orlando basketball player who lost his mind. All type of stuff here. That we're going to be talking about today on the bench. Don't forget we're available on all, and I do mean all podcast streaming platforms, including here on YouTube. Please like, share, subscribe, all of that good stuff. One of the things that was on my mind today, and I actually shared it on Instagram here, and my initial take on it is the overwhelming need to integrate, for black people to integrate, really screwed us and fucked us over. Now, the particular clip I shared on Instagram was about Jackie Robinson.
I did catch that.
Yeah, about Jackie Robinson and of course him coming over to the major leagues and all of that stuff. But you know, the baseball, the league that, you know, all of the blacks were in before, like because, you know, coming up I read that what's the big white dude that one of the best baseball players to ever live,
Babe Ruth.
Like Babe Ruth didn't really play against any black players. He did later in his career?
Well, no, throughout. There's
but not many.
There's
right?
a theory that he was part black.
That Babe?
Yeah.
Mm.
He always had apparently a lot of respect for the Negro League players. He would go watch games.
Yeah.
He did play in some like all-star type things.
But I mean in the MLB.
No. There was no black players in.
Right. That's what I mean by that.
Yeah,
but that is a good point that you were bringing up.
He has a very fascinating
I see what you're saying.
background in that. And I mean, and again, he was there's a couple of different instances where he kind of was very supportive, very kind to black people, and then I don't know, people say, well, if you look closely at his features and this and that, you know, he may have been partly black
somewhere
or
in his
whatever.
lineage.
Yeah.
Now my point of bringing all this up wasn't the Babe Ruth factor, but just about that time in the MLB. Of course, there weren't any black players because they all were in the Negro League. And in the Negro League, not only were there black players, there were black owners, there were black executives, and all of that good stuff. But our best black players felt the need to want to be included and integrated in the MLB for whatever strange reason. And this just adds to my confusion, because to me it's not Chinese arithmetics. You know what I mean? I don't again, I say this all the time. Like, I don't understand all of these different things that I bring up on the show. I just don't understand the overwhelming need to be included in they shit when the Negro Baseball League was awesome. They were making a decent living. Now, yes, the MLB provided more money, and that's the thing. That's the overlaying theme with all of these situations. They provide more money, but you're not, dying of thirst. Like you're providing for your family in the Negro League, in a league that was growing. You know what I'm saying? And also I have this thing here. This is what Google. If you just type this in Google, this is what AI and Google comes up with. Integration, while aimed at providing equal rights and access, had unintended detrimental effects on Black communities by dismantling the economic, social, and educational infrastructure of segregation-era Black institutions. The loss of businesses, schools, professional role models, combined with the displacement of families and loss of political power, created lasting economic and social disruption. So that's not even about sports. It's just across the board. Integration just fucked us, and it was because of the overwhelming need. I need to be included. I need to be with these white folks. We're missing out. They have something special over there. We need. Let's lose our ownership and let's give up all of our shit that they haven't already stolen and taken from us. let's put that all to the side because we just have to be with them. And I don't know, man. It's frustrating.
Yeah, I mean, it is an interesting point. I guess you also can look at it in the terms of, was it sustainable, the Negro League? Could it have been undermined any way by white people in some way, shape, or form?
Maybe so.
I mean, historically, when you look at, Tulsa and so many of these other Black Wall Street things that have been destroyed here as well, there's this weird historical dynamic or historical truth that when something is successful in the Black community, from the Black community, that it threatens white people, and that historically they take action against it.
Well, they did.
They did.
The problem is that we allowed them at their first. I imagine they had this big meeting with all of these elite white folks in the room, and they had a plan, and they had a list of 10 to 15 things that they would do to dismantle the Negro League. The problem is the very first line item is what got the Negro League out of there. They didn't even get to 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 of the ideas, and that was just to let's offer more money to the Black stars from the Negro League that they're making over there, and we're going to poach them over there, and that's going to dismantle the league altogether. And that's exactly what happened. And we're not going to pay them as much as we're paying our white stars, but it's still more than they're making over there.
Yeah.
And that worked. And it's like nobody can see this. I mean, it doesn't take a fucking you don't need bifocals to see what's going on here. Let's allow them to come in with some guns and more aggressive. Let them go in the bag. Let them, you know what I mean? Let them really fight for this if they want to dismantle this. Don't let it be so easy, But that's more on it's on the people. It's on the players. It's on the, you know what I mean? On the community.
But that we talked a while back when you're talking about like the Palm Beach thing.
Yeah.
It is that like collectiveness of purpose, and discipline of purpose that gets jacked up, and like when you're able to kind of like separate the individual and put the individual in a position to make the best decision for them. Maybe that's to join the white league. Maybe that's just to simply kind of stand down and not get involved. When you break things down where the decision is at an individual level, people typically choose safety and comfort, particularly when they're directly responsible for others, have families, things of that nature. And so that's one of the breakdown points. And it's very hard. And again, it's you're just always behind it in terms of timing wise to have that sort of connectivity and solidarity in a position that may ultimately have a greater impact of change. And that's the challenge with any sort of movement in those lines, is that you've got to be coordinated, you've got to be purposeful, and you've got to have everybody, committed to the cause so it's not breaking apart.
100%. No, 100%. So I just thought
that.
But
One of my favorite stories, like again, it was Satchel Paige, and I think he was in his upper 50s or something, and one of the teams signed him kind of almost as like a goof exhibition to pitch a few innings, and he took it for real and retired the side. In his upper 50s, or might have even been 60 years old when he did this in Major League game.
Had he already retired?
Yeah, he'd basically been retired.
Yeah. Oh, that's crazy.
Yeah, I mean that guy was amazing.
Yeah,
I mean really.
That would have had to be.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. So then you sit there and wonder damn, I wonder what this guy was in his 20s.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
which he was. Though. That's the thing.
Yeah,
I mean that's. And I think Josh Johnson's the other one.
Yeah,
was a big home run hitter, kind of the direct rival of Babe Ruth in terms of being a power hitter.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, so no, that's crazy. But
yeah. And also that, a lot of people wonder why why a lot of black people don't play baseball anymore, and this and that. Oh, it's boring, or this or that. I think that incident has more than 70-80% of the reason why, because when you take the Negro League away, now black kids don't really we don't have anything to look up to as far as
you're not growing up around baseball. It's not something that is kind of in your face and a part of your day-to-day life where you see it.
Bingo.
And more so the way it's evolved, it's been basketball and it's been football.
Yeah.
And that's what the young people see. That's what they're around. That's what they aspire to play, much more so than baseball. And baseball, in its own way, it's pretty international. Because you have a lot of Hispanic, Latin players in the league. You do have some black players. Yeah. But again, there's not many that become iconic stars. Now, I mean, back in the day, in the mid 80s, you had I know when I was a kid, late 70s, Reggie Jackson was a massive player, and then later you had Darryl Strawberry, Dwight Gooden, and things went a little south for those guys. But when they were leading the Mets, and the Mets were this young dominant team, and they win the '86 World Series, it felt different. You had those guys, and you felt hey, this could be something, but they unravel. It's not just them, and there are other players along the way, but it's
I don't know if I can name you one right now. I always could name
right now in baseball.
I always could name you a couple.
I mean, to be honest, I would probably have a hard time naming 10 players.
Oh, overall?
Yeah, I don't watch current players. I know Aaron Judge.
I'm talking about current. Yeah,
I know Aaron Judge.
Yeah.
I believe he's biracial.
Yeah.
Aaron Judge.
Yeah.
I've heard the name Mike Trout.
Otani. Otani is the number one.
Yeah, he's probably the number one guy. Other than that, I don't.
Yeah.
There's not. Nobody else is jumping to mind. I mean, I'm sure if you threw out some names, I might
I'd be
I've heard that.
Yeah, exactly.
But those are the three guys that I can think of right now.
Yeah.
At various times in my life, I've been more into baseball. I was into it quite a bit when I was a little kid with Reggie Jackson, and I loved those Mets team when I was a teenager. When I was at Florida State, that's when kind of the Braves kind of came to fruition with
a lot of people
Greg
loved those
Maddux
Braves when they
and
were
Dave
winning.
Justice and that group.
Our editor is a big Braves guy.
Yeah, I followed that team, and then I enjoyed the Jeter Yankees, and that was really the last time I cared about baseball was when the Yankees with Derek Jeter and they were winning World Series, Mariano Rivera and those guys.
See, me when I was in school, I was all in on Barry.
Yeah,
I would watch full baseball games. Today, it sounds when I say it to myself, it sounds fucking ridiculous because I would throw up at the sight of a baseball game. But I would watch full. That's how I was all in on the Barry experience.
Yeah,
and then being all in on the Barry experience.
What
I got
years
some of Sammy.
What years was the San Francisco Giants home run machine? I can't remember the time.
I just remember being in school, so it had to be anywhere from 04 or 05 to 11 to 13 something.
Okay.
And I was in school, so
right.
anywhere in there. And then, of course, like I said,
I do
Sammy.
remember following that, but like I wouldn't watch the games. But you could go to Sports Center and
it would be right
and
there.
it would be
So
right up top.
yeah.
Barry hit a home run here or whatever.
That's another thing. You go to ESPN, Sports Center now, like it's buried. Baseball is like buried in the
It's,
behind college football. Basketball,
it's just too slow. But you
NBA.
go to my oldest son Camden played one season of T-ball. I decided not to coach, and so I just watched. And the coach was terrible. The game was super slow, and I was surrounded by these vapid moms who were just talking about dumb shit like what elementary school is the best. And it almost killed me to get through the season.
Those soccer moms.
Yeah, and I just, they're not soccer moms. They're a different breed. and for the record, I want to discuss this. Soccer moms is a fallacy. It's not.
It doesn't work like that?
No.
Like how I envision?
When your kid is on a good team, like an upper tier team with kids that are going to go to college.
Yes.
There's a bunch of dads there.
Oh yeah.
There's a bunch. I'm not saying there's not the occasional single mom, but dads drive a lot of this.
Okay.
I mean there at all the teams Bryson played, there was a significant core of dads that were a part of that. And so you're not running around with 75% soccer moms.
That's what I envision. Now,
It's
do you
not
think
at
that
all.
did that change over time, or like that's just a term that kind of just got going?
No, I think it got there was this I think it was like a marketing type of conception where you had the mom driving the minivan or the SUV, taking the kids to soccer. And maybe at like the rec level, that's like more of a thing.
Okay.
But the reality is when you get to like travel ball, and bear in mind, I am not saying there are no women that do this. Our friend of the show, Jackie, her son's a basketball player, plays in college. She did all the stuff you need to do. Flew here and there, paid whatever money was necessary, did it. Shout out to her. But I just feel that like there's a lot of dads that, and maybe they're the dads that are living out their own unfulfilled sports fantasies. But they're the ones that drive this. They're like, every team Camden or Bryson was on, like later, it was a lot of the dads, and it was just like, oh yeah, we gotta be in Nashville tomorrow? No problem, we'll make it happen. Like whatever it takes. That's it. Like it was just, that was the way to go. And so that's why I think it's a fallacy. I think it's just overstated. There are soccer moms out there, but it's not like some massive thing driving the sport.
No, exactly. No, that's some good stuff there, man. You're still on the bench podcast with Bubba and Pink, home of sports, music, and mayhem. Let's get going into some national sports here. All right, not that baseball isn't, but just
some sports that people give a shit about.
There you go. Let's go to the NBA. Okay.
Oh, the association.
I got about 3 or 4 topics here.
Do you?
This is a good way. Okay.
Uno, dos, tres, cuatro.
While my blood is flowing. All right.
Let's hope it keeps flowing, otherwise the ladies will be disappointed.
While my blood is flowing. NBA fans are, I firmly believe, are the weirdest fans of any sport out there.
How so?
When we compare eras, that's already weird. Other sports don't do that as much as the NBA do. But when they say, like, when you got the Bill Lambiers and all of these guys, back in the day, we celebrate. NBA fans celebrate. Yeah, you couldn't come down the lane and close. You get clotheslined. Yeah, that was real basketball back then. And Michael Jordan, if you messed up on a team, he'll punch you and fight you. And yeah, LeBron would never do that. But when Draymond punches a teammate, oh, he's a shitty guy. He's Yeah. When Lou Dort does some nasty shit to a player and forces a face like this, oh, Lou Dort he's a nasty player. We need to kick him out of the league. He doesn't play the right way. What do you want? you say the league has no physicality. Nobody is doing things like they were doing in the 70s and 80s. But when they do, those guys are shitty human beings. They need to be out of the league. And what are they doing? They're useless. NBA fans are the weirdest and really, I hate to put it this way, but really lowest IQ of all sports fans of all, because it makes absolutely no sense. Now, Lou Dort, that particular play, I don't know if you saw it.
I saw it.
It was a dirty play. And Lou Dort has several dirty plays. Lou Dort is one of my favorite players. He's a top 5 perimeter defender in the league, and I love defense. He's that guy. But he gets dirty. He gets dirty. But you can't celebrate it from the 70s and 80s and not celebrate it now. You can't have it.
I don't know what to do with that. Personally, the older I get, the less tolerance I have for things that are not basketball plays. Like, I thought it was just stupid.
Mm-hmm.
Again, like when I'm coaching or involved in a game, I hate when people just do dumb shit that's not basketball related.
Yeah.
And it really irks me. And I don't know, but by the same token, I don't think I like personally glorified a lot of the like 80s and 90s atrocities in the game. It wasn't like I was thrilled when Bill Laimbeer would clothesline Michael Jordan. I thought Bill Laimbeer was an asshole. And I don't know. I don't think I've ever been so moved by that I have like a strong opinion. But the average fan is an idiot. Like, I don't like talking about basketball. I don't like talking about really anything that I care about with casual people. It's just not worth it to me. Their comprehension of what we're observing, it's just not of any value to me. It's whatever. If you're like a high level mathematician and you're talking to a guy about addition and subtraction,
you're gonna get frustrated.
It's frustrating. Like you are not going to tell me anything that's going to enlighten me, challenge a view or perspective that I had. So I don't need to converse with you.
Or even interest me.
But I don't find that they're any dumber than any other fan. Like, it's just, you listen to guys talk about other sports and it's just as stupid.
It's only from the aspect of the eras thing,
the comparison,
because that doesn't happen.
And it's a pointless. It's a pointless conversation.
It's extremely pointless because, and I wanted to get this out too, because I really do believe, especially from this aspect, that the league doesn't change that much. Just the characters and the way we view it do. You know what I mean? Like I say, there were dirty players then, and there are dirty players now.
Yeah, for sure.
I you know what I mean? So that's what I mean by that. So when guys say like, I love watching the league, I don't like watching NBA now. I liked watching it in the 70s and 80s because you just couldn't come down the lane anymore.
Well,
you know what I mean?
I know what you're saying, but my counterpoint to that is, if that is your opinion, you don't understand what you're watching.
Yeah.
You literally do not understand what you're watching. You're not in tune with whatever the tactical things are going on. You're not in tune with how, teams are using personnel to create problems, issues, mismatches, for other teams. You don't know what you're watching.
Yeah.
And it happens all the time. Very few people do understand what they're watching. And it's simple for you to just call back a early adult or even childhood recollection of watching a significant player do something and feel like you understood. You probably didn't understand it then.
Yeah.
But it's in the can, meaning it ain't happening anymore, and you could just that becomes a reference point for you to say, oh, this was that or this. But it's in reality, you never understood what the fuck you were watching.
100%.
I was at the gym today, and I was shooting on the side basically, and I'm watching people play. And if you probably walked around and asked each one of these people on camera, do you like basketball? They would say yes. Do you feel like you know a lot about basketball? They would also say yes.
Yeah.
And they know not a fucking thing.
No.
The most basic shit there is. Spacing, ball movement, ability to beat a guy off the dribble or recognize when you can't. Completely oblivious. Every all 10 guys on the court needed to be pulled off the court and executed, never to play again, because you don't understand what the fuck you're doing.
Yeah, I'm thinking about a guy, and I just don't want
Just
to put
pick
him out.
one.
I just don't want to put him
Like,
out.
but
like
there's
that.
a
But
million
there's
of them.
like, you know, there's guys who have like these crazy dreams and of making it places and things like that, and they don't even know where to stand in the 2-3 zone or what they're supposed to do.
Oh, I know who we're talking about now.
But like, you know, and it's but like these guys will tell you, like you said, these guys will tell you, yeah, I know basketball, you know what I mean, and they will argue you down. Like you remember, I almost got into a fight with a guy in the league.
That's right.
He just,
over the not so nuances of the 2-6 zone.
not so. It's just like,
That was
what are
insane.
you talking about, man?
Yeah.
And it frustrates you, like you say, it's frustrating, man. But it's like, you know, these are just very simple things that you should just know if you say that you know basketball. Now, if you tell me like you don't know basketball and you're a novice or you're just here to get a run and get in shape or whatever, all right.
But
you know?
but you're also in the catch-22 where the majority of the people we're talking about, they have no interest in learning anything.
No, man.
They are so
combative.
content in their willful ignorance that they
Yes.
don't want to learn anything further. And so at the end of the day, these are the people that are fueling the generational comparisons. These are the people that are fueling much of the NBA fandom discussion debates that you don't like. So ignore them. These are also the same people that 99% of Will Lee's posts are directed toward.
Yeah, they fall for that bait every
Oh
time.
gosh, there's but no like it's just not my style. But people that like they'll make say is like, y'all said this or you keep telling me this. Like, who is telling you this? Who is y'all? I want to identify they and y'all.
Tag them, call them out.
Yeah. Like, who are they? They're not me. And I want to know who this fantasy argument you're having with.
My favorite thing for Willie, I think it was like a day or two ago. He's like, the final LeBron Jordan post and debate. Here it like who you got? Here you go. Come on, man. You're gonna post about this at least 2 billion more times. This is not the final.
Exactly.
Jordan LeBron.
It is not in you to end this.
This is not going to end. No. But I feel you, man. For the post, for the purpose of the post, you know.
Yeah.
It's
But
like saying it's your last
I
album.
single Will out, but like there is a ton of people that's how they frame discussions. It's like y'all or they or like whatever. It's like no, like who is actually making.
And Will
these
is
things?
actually a good basketball knowledgeable guy.
Oh, for sure.
Now, another one here outside of Lou Dort being dirty, okay, is let's go here. The Rookie of the Year race is very interesting. Now it's coming down here to Cooper Flag and Con Knuckle.
Now Cooper's been out a while.
Two former teammates.
Is he in peril of not playing the 65 games?
That's not going to impact the Rookie of the Year race.
Oh, it doesn't.
No.
Really?
Yeah, 65 games.
So there's an exemption on that single race.
Yeah.
Why? That's weird.
I guess it is weird.
That doesn't make any sense.
I guess that is weird. And let me double check because these guys. Let me see. There's a 65 game rule.
Apply to Rookie of the Year.
Rookie of Year NBA. No. Yeah. I knew it, but I just want to double make sure.
Yeah, that's really odd.
It's only look at this. It's only applies to MVP, Defensive Player of the Year, Most Improved Player, All NBA defensive players. It's like every single award.
Every other award. So what other award is in the Rookie of the Year category if you could play 4 games and still win?
That's so crazy. But yeah, so that's not going to impact it. Now, so when you look at the stats, right? And hold on, I'm gonna go to Cooper Flag has slightly better stats, but Con Knuckle is playing on a team that's actually playing for something, and more games played. For what that's worth. So while I look up the stats, just what is your take on that?
I would put it in these terms: if I have to redraft this particular draft, or I'm starting a franchise with 0 players and I have to pick one of those 2 guys to start, I'm going Cooper Flag all day.
Yeah. Now, Kuminga is averaging 19, 5 rebounds, and 3 assists. Really good three-point shooter, 44% three-point shooter right now. Cooper Flag is averaging 20 points, 6 rebounds, and 4 assists. So slightly better in each one of those categories, aside from the three-point comparisons, but also much better defender. He's had bigger games, and
he's basically had to learn on the fly of play essentially point guard for an NBA team that's not particularly talented.
He's playing out of position. Yeah. And he's carrying an NBA franchise. He has that team on his back.
Yeah.
So that's your answer.
Yeah, that's my answer.
Cooper Flag.
Don't overthink this. But that's not to say that Kuminga's not off to a fantastic start to his career.
Oh, 100%.
And that's the thing. You're not like you don't have to. Comparison doesn't have to diminish anybody. They're both doing a fantastic job for what they're being asked to do.
My 2 takes on that is, number one, it's interesting. I wonder when is the last time we had like the 1 and 2 with 2 white guys in the rookie of the years. I wonder has that ever been the case, but
probably
when is
when
the
the
last
whole
time?
league was white.
Yeah. You would think.
I mean, I don't know who else they had to pick from.
And number 2, I'm rooting for Kuminga to win.
Really?
And that's just to stay consistent. As big as the LeBron guy that I am, I believe that Carmelo Anthony should have been a rookie of the year that year. It's a very similar situation with those two. With Carmelo, at that time, Carmelo, his rookie year, they were fighting for a playoff spot. LeBron's team wasn't, but LeBron had slightly better stats, even though Carmelo still had really good stats.
I don't think you can unless the statistical thing is weirdly warped, where it's just a no contest. I don't think you can look beyond the talent of the player. If 2 guys are giving you comparable numbers, and one guy is simply a better player, I'm going with that all day. That's why I'd go with LeBron every single time over Carmelo Anthony.
We knew with 100% for a fact that LeBron was the better player. I don't think we know that here. I think we have a feeling.
I'm comfortable saying it.
I feel like we're comfortable, but you don't you wouldn't bet any significant amount of money on that. Like Khan still has a lot. He still. But I mean, of course, they have room to grow. But there's not a vast difference between these 2 guys. It's I also believe
what they do
Cooper is better.
And what they're asked to do, I think, is much different. I think Kuminga is essentially a positional player, and I think that Flag is an amorphous star.
What about this? What if I tell you that Kuminga has raised Charlotte from the dead? Have you seen Charlotte? This hot run that he's on, he didn't start off his rookie. That's another thing. Cooper Flag had a much hotter start to his rookie season, but he had the ball in his hands a lot more of the XYZ. Khan is a little different. He has has come on the last 2 to 3 months, and so has Charlotte. I mean, Charlotte is firmly in the playoff race. They're, you know what I mean? And it's because of him. He's had 40-point games. He's at 30. His shooting is not. I hope the kids know it's not. Charlotte's not where they're at because of LaMelo Ball. They're at where they're at because of Kuminga.
I think
and
because
Brandon Miller
playing well.
Brandon Miller is their best player.
And I think that they finally have a couple good things going for them besides just the clown show of LaMelo Ball.
Yeah.
And again, Kuminga's doing a great job. I'm not taking that away.
No, I feel you.
I feel passionately that Cooper Flag is the better player.
Yeah, and I can't tell you that you're wrong.
And that's where this decision lies for me.
Yeah.
And much like the LeBron and the Carmelo Anthony thing, I'm like, LeBron's just a better player at that time. And now history has proven it. So the most I've ever bet on anything was $100, and I bet it on an air hockey game tournament, and I won. I would bet $101 that Cooper Flag is the better player over the next 15 years. And so in 15 years, Bubba, when I'm dead, you can hit up my estate for $101 if Kuminga's the better man.
Clip this, editor.
Please do. or you can stroke a check for $101 to my heirs.
Dallas is interesting. They're in an interesting spot because Kyrie, they label him out for the season.
Yeah.
And they don't have a lot going for him. They're going to get another decent draft pick here. But what do you do? Because you got the Kyrie. Do you move on from Kyrie in this offseason? For like nothing because nobody's seen him, whatever.
That's why that would probably be the biggest reason why I wouldn't move on from him. Unless I'm wrong, I don't think they're paying a lot of people a lot of money.
Right. Well, they got rid of Anthony Davis,
right.
So
and obviously they didn't want to pay Lucas, so they got rid of him.
Yeah, I think they're paying one of the centers. Okay.
Yeah, I don't think they're in any crazy
cap situation.
So in my mind, I bring Kyrie back. If Kyrie is signaling to me he's ready to ball and get after it, I welcome that.
Okay.
I bring him back, Cooper Flag. We add another piece in the draft. I would be. If I'm Dallas, I would be aggressive in what I would characterize as sort of mid-tier free agents.
Okay.
I'm not trying to supplant Cooper Flag's role. I'm trying to build around him.
So you're not going for Giannis?
Not necessarily going for Giannis.
Okay.
Yeah, and I don't think we have the pieces to do that.
Okay.
So I try to find value in the margins, and I try to build not unlike a I know the age is much different, but not unlike the Spurs and Wemby. In that, I want to bring in competitive, tough two-way guys and build around Cooper Flag. And Kyrie, I know they're not the same age or whatever, but he can be the fox in that dynamic.
There you go.
And that's what I try to do.
Okay.
Now, if Kyrie comes back and we're not having great success as a team, but he's showing pretty well, then I probably look to trade him for some younger people or some assets. But we try to reestablish his value in the league before we do that.
Yeah.
And I think it's hard to do if he's been out as long as he has. Yeah. You're getting pennies on the dollar. So that's my plan. I welcome Kyrie back. We're building around Cooper Flag. We're looking for tough-minded two-way guys and just create something. And if it's not clicking, we dip back into the trade market and see if we could offload Kyrie for some assets.
Yeah. No, I'm with that. Now, on Charlotte's side, just before we leave, because I have a big rant coming up.
On Charlotte?
By the way. No.
Yeah, speaking of Charlotte, Michael Jordan's tearing it up in NASCAR.
I mean, he really is.
They've won three. They won the first three races of the season. Which I don't think anyone's done. I wanted to text
you about that because I know your dad wasn't big in the racing thing. I wanted to know what did you have an eye on that or ears?
Yeah, no, just keeping tabs on it, and they've literally. And it goes deeper because in essentially the NASCAR offseason, they had a big antitrust lawsuit that Michael Jordan was prominent in that ended up settling after some testimony was taken. And I think I know he came out on the top side of that, and then to come out and win the first three races of the season is phenomenal. I mean, absolutely phenomenal. You're answering the bell. You're doing everything you're supposed to do. And, shout out to him and his team, and hopefully, it continues and they get a title run.
No, 100%. Now, when you get to Charlotte's side, I was watching ESPN this morning, and they were over the past, a month or 2 months or something, they have the best record in the league. And it's a good sample size, not a small sample size. Tonight, they're blowing the Celtics out by 22. I mean, I there might be something here.
Yeah.
And I just think they're going to be one of those teams. I'm not a firm believer in any of those top teams in the East. I'm not a Detroit in the finals 100% guy. I think they could be had. I think because, after Cade, their next best solidified score is Tobias Harris. I've seen enough of that in the playoffs to know that's just not going to be a thing.
Yeah,
I hope Detroit fans are prepared for that.
Yeah.
And Duran is great. He's good, but he's a hustle center but he's an all-star center. But he's just not a guy that you run offense through at any point. But he's going to get his because he plays so hard and he really is talented at what he does.
I mean that's who they are.
Detroit.
They're a very hard playing team that has a singular superstar. That's the ticket. They don't shoot it particularly well. They don't have a lot of secondary scoring options as far as creating shot options. The rest of that roster is either pretty limited in their offensive game, like Thompson, like Duran, and that's just who they are. They're going to make or break on that, and they could. They're vulnerable. I agree with you. They're vulnerable to being upset by some of these other teams.
And the one team that does not want to see Charlotte under any circumstance in the first round is the New York Knicks. And the reason why I bring these teams up as the Detroit and New York.
Case, I would love for the New York Knicks to see Charlotte in the first round.
Because Charlotte is going to be in a situation. I mean, unless they just get dumb hot, which is they have been
already
hot.
happened. If they have the best record in the league over the last 2 months, they're dumb hot.
But they're probably going to be in the play-in, but they're going to beat all of these shitty play-in teams. So that means they'll be in 7th. And Detroit, in New York Knicks, they're flirting with the number 2-3 spot. They only have a game.
Them in Boston.
Yeah. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So yeah. Now so that's going to be really interesting because Charlotte, they may be for real in a sense of one of those, like New York Knicks. The way Charlotte's playing now, I like Charlotte, even though they're young, but I definitely don't believe in the Knicks either. And Detroit could be had.
Yeah.
All right.
And Boston could be had.
Yeah, and Boston could be had.
Because there's no prohibitive favorite
No.
in the East.
No.
The Knicks and certainly the Celtics have the greatest sort of playoff pedigree experience.
Yeah.
Detroit's at the top of this thing,
and they have the best
in
player.
In addition to what we just said about Detroit, skill wise, they don't have a lot of playoff experience. They had one series against the Knicks last year. I think it went 6 games, but that's it. Versus what the Knicks and particularly what the Celtics have done over the last 6, 7, 8 years.
Yeah.
That they're going to be a lot tougher in those playoff situations and mentally more equipped to know what to expect than Detroit.
Detroit, they just need. Cade needs his version of Kyrie Irving, of the Austin Reeves. I know you don't like that name, but I'm just thinking
You've
about
been shitting on the guy for a month and a half yourself.
But he just needs his version of that guy, the secondary ball handler who can score and get 20 to 25 a game. And
and like
25
and lead the team when Cade's resting.
100%.
Just interchangeable with that and be able to play with him.
And once they get that, I believe they can compete with these Western Conference teams.
They also need a bit more shooting, just general shooting.
Well, I'm banking this guy in with the shooting.
Well,
because they have the white shooter from Miami,
right? But that's almost about it.
Tobias can shoot for what it is.
Yeah, but I just saying they could use.
They lost the guy that got that. He was like one of the top shooters in the league last year, but he got caught up in that. Was it the gambling stuff?
Yeah, gambling stuff. Yeah.
But he was like
Beasley,
top 2
right?
shooter in the league.
Yeah. They need another rotational shooter.
Yeah,
doesn't have to be a starter,
yeah,
but another guy that could come in and that's what he does. He's a shooter
like him.
And I agree with you. A secondary playmaker, offensively hub.
Yeah.
Agreed. That if they had that, then they're kind of really at a special level.
100%. All right. You're still on the bench podcast with Bubba and Pink, home of sports, music, and mayhem. All right, now my rant. Okay, I saw the craziest shit today, and I saw this. The 76ers made calls. Showed interest is such a weak fucking term here in this article. They made calls to the Los Angeles Clippers for Kawhi Leonard at the trade deadline. Now, this is why this is nuts. Kawhi Leonard is having one of his best seasons that he's had, especially with the Clippers, but in recent memory this year. And the Clippers are one of those dangerous teams, especially if he stays healthy. The problem with that is on the left side of that screen, I showed all of the injuries that Joel Embiid has had in his career, and it's even crazier than that Allen Iverson picture that was similar to that. I don't know if people remember that. And he actually has a new thing now, which is the reason why he missed the game against the Spurs.
What does he got going on now?
Oblique. So his abs, he got like elbow. It was a kind of a slightly dirty play or whatever.
Was Lou Dort involved?
No, and so he's going to be. He's
perhaps
be
just
out.
in spirit.
Right. It's perhaps just in spirit. And the problem with this is you just like, what are you doing? If you're Daryl Morey and Elton Brand, like how sick and deranged, how dumb or silly or the R word do you have to be to make calls for another often injured guy? You got one guy who's on crack cocaine and maybe he's passing it around to the entire front office and damn, and because you got one guy who's on crack cocaine, he's often injured in Paul George. You have another guy who's just
I was wondering who was on crack cocaine.
Yeah. They won't release and tell us the substance, but they tell us it's not PED. So what else could it be?
I thought you were going to say Elton Brand was on it.
Yeah, he has to be. They all have to be. And again, Joel Embiid was often injured, and you're going to bring in another guy who's older and often injured. What the fuck is wrong with you?
Now, did they kind of flesh out like who may have been involved in this move?
He's a max contract player, so even if you're going to swap him and say Paul George, but you're not, you're going to have to give up a lot more. You're going to give up. You got to complete your draft assets to trade him, or Joel Embiid, whichever one. But my point is, you're swapping a problem for a problem. Is my thing, and also another older guy. That's like, has the league not shown you any fucking thing? Yeah. This is not the way to zag. Sometimes teams zag where everyone's zigging. You know what I mean? But if you look at all of these successful teams that have a legitimate chance, the Spurs, the Thunder, Detroit, Boston, none of these guys have any often injured players
or really many old players
yeah, and they don't have any old often injured players. We already have two.
Maybe Daryl Morey was going to make this trade and relocate the franchise to the Villages.
And the thing about Daryl Morey, he's been solid, good, even great, even on the marginal smaller moves, drafting McCain and Maxey at the end of the first round, and getting guys like Barlow and Bona and this.
And you got to say VJ's been a great pick.
Yeah, I mean, we tanked to get to the third pick. It wasn't fucking rocket science. But I'm saying the real marginal moves that you had to really think and do and whatever for, right? And he's been okay with that. The big moves, he's been god awful and shitty with, and that's what matters. That's what matters. It matters that you gave Embiid a 3-year extension when he already had 2 years left on his deal, and he's been hurt every fucking year. Like, I love Embiid, but you don't do that.
You know what's kind of ironic to this too, in terms of his team building, like his career was made with James Harden in Houston.
Starting, yeah.
No, not starting specifically. James Harden in Houston. And what was the significance of James Harden in Houston? He was a young, in some levels, appreciated player.
Yeah.
In OKC, like, he was a good player with a bright upside, but you didn't automatically see what he became in Houston.
Yeah.
MVP level guy. Nobody was saying, watching OKC with James Harden saying this is a future MVP.
No.
And he made that pick. He made a pick for a young dude that he probably believed was underutilized, undervalued to a degree, and had more in him. And now he's kind of chased an aging James Harden for a while, brings in a Paul George, flirts with it. Like, it's nothing but these old guys. Like, he himself has gotten away from what made his career.
And I don't think he understands that either.
Clearly not. If he did, he wouldn't do it.
Now, I have a couple of things before we move on here that I think can fix the 76ers. Number one, you need to clean house. Everyone must go. And when I mean everyone, even the guy that gives Daryl Morey coffee in the morning. Anyone who has had any hand, any thought, anything involved with any of this mess needs to be out of the building at the end of the season. And I'm not mad at them. I'm not like pissed off like I was at Doc Rivers or Ben Simmons.
Including your creepy owner with the white party?
No, of course he has to stay.
Really?
Yeah. I mean, what are you gonna do?
Get rid of him.
Not gonna vote him off the island. I mean, he owns the island. He owns multiple islands and sports franchises at that. I mean, unless maybe if we can put a swastika or a slave in his room or
That's
something.
the way to think. We've already found Meek Mill in his room. What more do we need?
So if we could maybe we could set him up or something. Yeah, that would be nice.
Yeah.
That would be
Bubba,
nice.
That's when I propose something like that. That's what I'm thinking. Like that's the direction I'm going.
All right.
Like I love The Godfather when they planted a dead hooker in the senator's hotel room.
There you go.
When they planted the horse head in Johnny Fontaine's room. This is the school I come from.
I can spearhead that movement.
All right.
But yes, everyone must go. Daryl, Elton, the whole front office, the coach, Nick Nurse, everybody needs to go. That's number one. And then number two, you gotta take all of your assets, whatever it takes, and move Paul George off. Again, when Paul George plays, he's not bad. He's productive. He was a good wing defender this year. He was hitting his open threes. He had a game where he had 8-9 threes. He's a solid. The problem is he never plays. That's the problem. And he's on crack cocaine. So get rid of Paul George, whatever it takes. I don't give a fuck. Whatever draft picks, whatever. He has, okay. And third.
Why don't you just keep him suspended?
And last,
without giving up any assets. Just keep him in suspension.
No, I wish we could void his contract because he was on crack cocaine.
Here's where I'm going with this.
That would be the thing.
Repeat offender.
Yeah. We drug his drink,
yes.
and then we called the office anonymously and say, hey, we need to drug test all of our players, please. And there you go.
And we give up no draft capital, no other assets.
That you're thinking.
See?
I appreciate that thought process.
Yeah.
That's actually I like that more than the owner thing. That's I do because that's reasonable. And third, and the fans won't like this. They won't, and I understand, but when you do that, you have to trade Tyrese Maxey. And
Really?
and yes,
Why?
He holds the most value on our team, but we know what Tyrese Maxey is. We know what he is. He's actually the guy that Detroit needs aside. Okay, he's a number two. He doesn't smell. He doesn't. He doesn't have a
When you said number two,
he doesn't have a bad aroma or anything. But he can't lead a team. He's just not. It's just he's a 6'2", 6'3", high volume scoring guard. And when I watch him, and Sixers fans who will watch this and be pissed off at me saying this, I want you to take an exercise. Go look at every single game Tyrese Maxey has played against a good defensive team, good defensive players, and look at that outcome. It's tough, man, and it's tough for any small 6'2", 6'3", high volume scoring guard like our guy, and I love him. I just said on last show that Stephon Castle was I got him as a top 2 perimeter defender in the league. I just said that last show. But he erased Tyrese Maxey. Yeah, okay, he ended up with 24 points or whatever, but it was like on 30, 40% shooting. Like, he erased Tyrese Maxey single-handedly. It wasn't no double teams or he was cornering him or the fucking he single-handedly just fucking erased him. And Jaylen Brown has done it, and all of these guys, Lou Dort has done it, and it's tough, man. But his value is so freaking high. You can get a king's ransom for him, and you reset the fucking franchise. Because what we cannot do is come back the next season and say, oh, well, as another new year and Embiid will be healthy and Paul George, he'll go to drug rehab and Maxey and VJ will take another step. It's been enough. It's enough.
What about not trading Embiid?
It's just an impossibility is my thing.
Conceding it's an impossibility.
Oh, yeah, it's an impossibility.
What about the criminal mishandling of Jared McLean?
That's a part of the thing that from Daryl Morey and Elton Brand.
I saw a clip the other day really like highlighting Nick Nurse's offense and the lack of movement.
Yeah.
And that McCain is a guy that really thrives with movement. He's a clever player, and basically everything in Philadelphia is too stagnant.
Everything's too stagnant, but also the players around him, we couldn't hide them. OKC has all of these super long defenders. You can hide them on defense, and then he's only really initiating offense for 3 to 4 to 5 minutes at a time. Other than that, he's spotting up and shooting, which he can do with his eyes.
Well,
closed.
he's not,
and
like,
he's moving.
He's
moving.
It's the movement. It's the movement.
But with
like,
Philly,
that's the thing.
with Philadelphia. Yes, Nick Nurse and Doc Rivers, but I'm starting to believe it's less of a coach thing and more of a players thing. I really do, because every coach that we've had in this era, we run essentially the same offense. Embiid has the ball at the nail, Embiid has the ball at the post, or Tyrese Maxey ISO. That's the offense.
Yeah. No, and it is fair with some of the players that, like, they kind of just have a way of playing that doesn't allow you to do anything else.
No.
And it's there's this, like, you've.
Now, when Embiid is playing, that's still a good way to play, because there's nobody that can fucking guard him. And the teams that do well against him, it's because they double team him, and you can create offense out of double teams.
Out of that, yeah.
Tyrese Maxey, you don't necessarily have to double team him if you have a good initial defender. And so if Embiid is not out there, and you can just single coverage and make life really tough for the ISO Maxey.
You could show wall up a little bit and show him some bodies.
Our offense is dead after that.
Yeah, no, I agree. And I mean, yeah.
Now, it's a coaching problem, but my thing is, it might be because of the characters we have.
The player base. No, I agree. I agree with that.
know?
It's that it can be very difficult to get, high level players to see the game in another manner.
Yeah. And because I just hate having to blame every single coach that come in there. I feel like that's kind of lame. Nick Nurse does share some blame, and again, I said clean house, so I think Nick Nurse should go as well.
Yeah.
But at the same time, every coach I've had this similar issue, and it's like, well, maybe it's not them so much.
I do think it's hard to construct offense that with Embiid that's not Embiid centric. Because he really doesn't move much.
It's damn near impossible.
And he literally just kind of occupies certain spaces. And when he gets the ball, he's very good. But it's like he's literally going to occupy those spaces, and you can't have much movement off of that because he can't really be a participant in the movement.
No, but again, it's not Embiid that is the problem. It's the lack of Embiid that's the problem. When Embiid is playing, we're top 5, top 10 offense, top 5, top 10 defense, especially historically. We've been the number 1 seed with Embiid. We've done all of that. He's, you know what I mean? He's a very special and unique player to where you can play that way with him and be successful and win.
Yeah.
The problem with him is he's just not on the floor.
No, but I was kind of saying in the concept of in relation to McCain and other people playing with him.
Yeah, 100%. So yeah, that's my 76ers rant for hopefully the rest of the season. All right. But just like Will Lee, that's probably not going to happen.
We're never going to get over it.
This is something else from the NBA. I promise you we have other topics to talk about. But I really think this is going to become a thing. I just saw this today. I'm not sure if it was today or yesterday, but Jeremy Lin was on a podcast. I'm going to play this here. He's talking about Kobe Bryant. I'm playing the second half of his comment, but he's talking about when he played with the Lakers and played with Kobe, and there was a situation that he's talking about, a singular situation that happened on the floor, and he's talking about the aftermath of them arguing on the floor and Kobe giving him a death stare, and he didn't appreciate that. All right, here it goes.
And so he came back with a sharp response, and then I went back at him. But it ended cordial, where I ended up saying, I was like, I'm not saying that you can't teach me. You're obviously like 100 times the player I am. I want to learn anything and everything I can from you. I'm just asking, can you just say it and do it in a way that's like respectful to me as a man, right? And so he was like, all right, I got you. And then he sent over a text with some advice. He's like, let's start with this. I was like, I got you. I'm going to be focused on that. I'm going to be working on this. I'm going to think on this of exactly what you're saying. I'm just trying to get better. I'm trying to help this team more. We didn't speak for the next 5 months.
Damn.
And now a lot of there's a lot of Kobe fans, a lot of Kobe stans. They're really upset about this, and they feel like it's been a open season on Kobe since he's passed away, and a lot of people are coming out with stories. I remember just a year or two ago, you had Smush Parker. He came out and talked about
the Smush Parker thing was out there when he was alive.
It was out there, but I'm saying, but just again, he was on another platform. But a lot of guys have come out since his passing, and that's, I'm just telling you their feelings, and they just feel like it's open season. You got, whatever. Of course, they always felt like he hasn't gotten his respect as far as top 5 and top 10 as far as that goes. And then you got Jeremy Lin here, but I mean, I feel like, he's on the podcast, he's asked about it. I mean, what do you want him to do?
Right. Right. No, I mean, it's we always circle back to the idiots that argue. These are the same people that are getting upset about this.
These are the same type of
If you don't understand this story, you didn't understand Kobe well enough to be a fan.
Yeah.
Like, this is part of who he was. Like, he had, difficulties at times communicating with people. He had, a difficulty fitting into the role of leader among other people. Like, that's part of who he was. At times he got it right, and at times he didn't. And that's, you if you really appreciate somebody, like, you got to understand everything they did, or what went into their career, the ups and downs and everything. So this is completely, a credible story in my mind. I'm not surprised by it at all. It sounds like a Kobe story. But by the same time, you got like the Chandler Parsons story where he, arranged for dinner for Chandler and people and, cut the check and did this. Kobe is a complicated, complex individual. And if you're a fan of his and don't understand or appreciate that or come to peace with that, you're really not a fan.
Yeah.
You're a fan of a concept and not a human being. That's where you're at.
The Black Mamba concept.
Yeah, and you're not willing to recognize, hey, this was a human being. Like, he didn't always get it right. And it is what it is. It does, it's just, if you're, and again, you're that sensitive about another dude.
That too.
Like, please. Pause. I mean, this is outrageous. I can't fathom that. I think you need to get over yourself, and it's okay. Like, everybody in history has, some negative to them, and it is what it is. And I genuinely like Jeremy Lin.
Yeah.
He's a bright guy. He went to Harvard. When he tells a story like this, there's no animus in it.
There's no animus. There was no. I didn't feel any foulness out of that. Like, I didn't.
Right.
Like, he bigged up Kobe. He said, I know you're 1,000 times better than me. Like, I feel like there was 1,000% truth in that. I don't think he left anything out.
Yeah.
I don't think he lied about anything. Like, it felt so authentic when he was telling the story. I felt like I was there too. Like, it was a good story. Like, he told it right. You know what I mean?
No, for sure. And just get over yourselves. I mean, these stories are fascinating because they do, for me, they kind of balance out, like what a guy is. And again, the other thing we can't forget is, like, we're not always the same person. Mm-hmm. Like, at different situations, different seasons of life, you have other things on your mind. And I don't know, like, when the Jeremy Lin lined up with, whatever else was going on with Kobe or whatever. And honestly, he might have been going through some shit.
Yeah, you never know.
And it's just like, just never circle back to it. And again, like all human things, it's like, you have a beef. Maybe there's a gesture, the text message or whatever, and then you get distracted. There's no follow through, and next thing you know, like a week, 3 weeks has passed, and you're kind of like, ooh, how do I bring this back up? Or do I want to? And if you're Kobe, your life's going 1,000,000 miles an hour. It's like, I'll just stop talking. We'll just keep playing. I mean, it's just not that complicated.
No, 100%. How do you view Jeremy Lin's career? Like,
just very unique. And like, we focused on that part of that podcast. The part that I loved was he was talking about his getting into the league and Linsanity happening. And it was literally like he had not played. He got some minutes up in Boston. He had 2 points and an assist or something. And basically he was saying, I was playing not to make a mistake. I was playing with my mind in this place where I'm holding on to something. And I couldn't play free. And that night his agent called him and said, hey, they're probably going to cut you. And the very next game was in Brooklyn. And that's when Linsanity was born. And he had a great game, put up multiple points. And in his mind, he's like, when he heard the words, you're cutting me, if Frida, I have nothing to lose.
Yeah.
If I get to play in this next game, I'm going to be me.
Yeah.
I'm going to be completely me. And if that's the last NBA game I play,
so be it.
So be it. And that was freeing for him. And he went on this run. And then he said the end of the run was they played the Heat. And it was LeBron, Wade, and Bosh. And it's like they were committed to not let him get going. And they had a game plan, and they really took him out of the game. And again, this is why I like him so much. Is he's like to come from being cut, like on the verge of being cut for the third time in the same year, to having the big three of the Heat think about a game against him and figure out how to stop him. He goes, think about that. Yeah. That's absurd. I was going to get cut 4 weeks ago, and now some of the best players in the game are like, we can't let this guy get cut. What is that all about?
That's a crazy ride.
Yeah,
man, that's a crazy ride.
And he had stops at other places. Kind of, he kind of was what he was. He wasn't a great player. He had some NBA skills, and when he was in a situation where he was able to just kind of play, he generally did all right for himself. I think that he was. I think he's a unique player, not in terms of league history, but he was a guy that, although he wasn't an elite talent, played his best basketball when he had the free hand to try to be an elite player. Like the ball was in his hands, he got to do what he could do with it, and he was at his best. I think he kind of always struggled a little bit because he wasn't a natural shooter to be the extra guy on the court.
Yeah.
Like playing around other great players like a Kobe and whatever. Because I think his natural instincts were to kind of do stuff with the ball and kind of create for himself and to a degree others, but that wasn't necessarily what the NBA had in mind for him, but for the occasional streak here or there.
Yeah.
So, I'm sure he's proud of his career, and rightly so, but at the end of the day, he was kind of just an odd fit in the league, and on the rare occasion when he got to kind of be him, he did all right, and the rest of the time he was just kind of a passenger to the game.
No, 100%. I know some of his teammates and players in the league, like a lot of them, had I don't know if I want to call it jealousy or animosity or just they didn't like that moment that he had because he was the talk of the NBA for like that entire stretch. Like
that run,
all Jeremy Lin, and one of the guys was Kenyon Martin. And I know just like a week or so ago, they finally let Barrett the hatchet, but like Kenyon Martin had like called him out and was talking bad about him.
Didn't he do like cornrows or something?
About the dreads.
And then dreads or whatever. And then then he pulled a cultural appropriation card.
Yeah.
But again, like you listen to Lynn's side of it, and I've never felt that he's a petty or a person who exists with a lot of animus. And I think he was saying like as soon as Kenyon Martin criticized him, he kind of wanted to reach out to him.
Yeah.
And Kenyon Martin just was kind of like whatever. And Kenyon Martin's one of those guys who always fancies himself a tough guy or whatever.
Yeah.
And I don't think he was ready or willing to have a conversation. I felt like he was content to have fired his shot and just let it ride, I guess, until more recently. But again, was it the coolest thing to do? Probably not. I don't know.
I mean, it's fine. It's a hairstyle.
Yeah.
But I loved his response in the moment to King.
Which was what?
It was hey man, it's all good. You definitely don't have to like my hair. Definitely entitled to your opinion. Actually, I am legit grateful for you sharing it, to be honest. At the end of the day, I appreciate that I have dreads and that you have Chinese tattoos. Because I think it's a sign of respect. And I think as minorities, the more that we appreciate each other's cultures, the more we influence mainstream society. Thanks for everything you did for the Nets and hoops. I had your poster up on my wall growing up. Like, that's just...
How do you come back to that? Where do you go?
Where do you
go with that? Asshole!
He Eminem'd you.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
He did. Eminem'd you. He did.
Yeah, man.
But again, like, that is, like, really, that is a very thoughtful response.
Yeah.
You know, and again, he really kind of, Eminem checkmated him. Wasn't a whole lot he could go with other than just, whatever, some general frustration. It's like, and he made it bigger than two guys beefing.
Yeah.
With the hey, as minorities, we should be able to. Like, he just made it global.
You know what I mean?
And it's just like, damn. But that's the way, especially in the times that we exist in, it is important to appreciate people that come from a place like that. That it's a thoughtful place, that it's a caring place, and a place that moves towards education and understanding. Because we are so utterly lacking in that right now.
100%. All right, moving along here. That was good. I thought that was good there. I thought that this was interesting. AJ DeBanster says, I may not leave college. He teases possible BYU return in a video amid the draft rumors around the number 1 pick. Now, this guy is really growing on me. I remember when he first had decided to go to BYU, we kind of got on him pretty heavy. It was like, he's chasing the bag, he's doing this, he's doing that.
Yeah.
But
I still don't think much of him.
But he's played in basically every game when you got other draft picks.
Let's put this in context. Let's put this in context. If the bizarro world of Darren Peterson didn't exist, it's not even a story.
It's not. No.
It's the fact that he's playing all the games.
Yeah, not about the return.
Yeah,
I know exactly what you're talking about.
It's
Talking about my response.
Because it's because we have this one freaking weird guy.
Yeah.
Like Boozer's playing a ton.
Yeah.
AJ's playing a ton. It's what you're supposed to do.
Yeah. Yes. 1,000%. But I'm just talking about in relation to the number 1 pick. Because I guess people can argue or whatever, but I don't think Boozer is just in that conversation for the number 1 pick.
No, I don't. But I think
no
it's a two-man race.
I think it's a 2-man race.
But again, this guy was the presumptive number 1 before the season began.
Yeah.
He was the presumptive number 1 when he went to BYU.
Out of high school.
Period.
Yeah, for sure. But it just even watching his game and all of that, I think he's just missing the 3-point component. I like watching him play. He plays really fucking hard.
Yeah.
He has skill. He's athletic. But I don't buy that for anything in the world.
Not at all. It's stupid. Here's the thing. As a player, I like him. He should be a very good NBA player. Let's see how he goes there. But I will not forgive you for going to BYU, and I don't care how big the bag is. And this whole nonsense, you lose credibility to me as a man to do this. If you're AJ DeBanza, if you're that talented, your aspiration has to be the league.
Yes.
I have no interest in college basketball. The world makes me go for 1 year, and the rules allow them to pay me. So I'm going to do that, and I'll do my best. But I need to get where the best guys are, and they ain't here. It's that simple. If you as a player are not motivated by that, if that is not your singular goal as a great player, you ain't great. You got something wrong with you.
That's a great point. My thing, I would feel like that is more of a thing if the bad teams were all in such a terrible situation. Like all of a sudden, going to Charlotte, it's not that bad. Going to Utah, they have pieces now. Going to, if it was last year and you had the Utah, you had these situations, and the Wizards is another team I was thinking about, but all of a sudden you get drafted by the Wizards, that's not a terrible thing. Like all of a sudden you have a chance to compete for a playoff spot your first or second year with Trae Young, Anthony Davis, if everything goes right. Even if Anthony Davis doesn't play much, you Trae Young and a couple other good young pieces. Like all of a sudden the bad teams have put themselves in a position where if you're that guy coming out of college, which we think AJ and Darren Peterson and Boozer should be, you're going to be fine.
Well, what I was going to circle back to was, who else said this about a couple years ago? Caleb Williams in football. He flirted with maybe I won't come into the draft. And again, it was like Chicago and some other kind of not so desirable teams were at the top of the draft order. What happens? He comes, endures a rough season with Eber retard, and then they get a real coach and they're in the playoffs and Caleb looks like something special.
Yeah. So you're saying even if the bad team,
it doesn't matter.
The mirror,
it does not matter.
It just doesn't matter.
Like if you're at the park and there's the good games on one court and the other court, you're going to content to sit over at the B court and just run around with those guys.
Some guys.
And what do we think of those guys?
Not much.
Amen. Huh? And I'm not even religious. Got me out here. Wow. It's just it's just like I don't like every superstar in the NBA. I don't always think highly of them, but I will respect the ones that rise to the level.
Yeah.
And to me, that's what when you have this type of ability, that's what it's all about. Now, if you're a guy that has marginal NBA prospects, and maybe you're going to make a team, maybe you can carve out a rotational role, and that's just who you are as a player. I don't have a huge issue with you sticking around for some NIL money,
or even just to improve your draft
stock or whatever the case might be. And if you're basically going to be a second round pick or perhaps not drafted, but if you're top 5 guy, go find the competition, man. Don't, and again, don't say things insincerely.
Yeah.
It's kind of you just come off as not a great person.
I know he's probably having a great time at BYU and this and that,
smashing them white women.
Yeah. Even though I guess they say you're not supposed to, but I'm sure he's having threesomes, foursomes, fivesomes, eightsomes,
or as you like to say, running some trains. I'm sure I don't know.
I'm sure, man.
Him and the ghost of Jim McMahon. Dude, that's wild. I don't like to hear that. I don't like to hear that.
Yeah.
But in comparison to pulling yourself out of games, I guess it's not so bad.
Oh man. He's actually played his last game or two. And
they lost last night to Arizona State to Bobby Hurley.
Yeah. Moving forward here. By the way, I love my Florida Gators team this year again. I haven't mentioned
coming on at the right time.
Haven't mentioned them this year yet. A little slow start, but the one thing that's been consistent, we have the best front court in America, number 1 rebounding team. We lost. Our best guards. But they're young and they're playing, but the front court is really fucking special.
And so speaking of, Walter's getting some decent minutes in Memphis, and I had a real nice game the other day. Had 9 assists in the game yesterday.
Yeah, because he was in that trade. He was in that. He was in that Jaren Jackson trade.
Yeah, Jaren Jackson trade. So hopefully he gets a better opportunity there. Yeah. And I gotta say, Memphis is a lot more like Polk County than Utah.
You better believe it. Well, hopefully he's not hanging out with Ja too much.
He's probably hanging out with Alante.
yeah, I'm sure. Damn, did we talk about this? We did not talk about this.
What?
So, there's a new beef in the NBA, in this New Orleans Pelicans and Stephen A. Smith. Are you aware of this?
I became aware of it as the day went on.
Okay. So basically a couple of days ago on First Take, Stephen A. came out. Well, I guess the very first thing that happened was Zion had a big sit-down interview, and he was talking about...
With Stephen A.?
No. Oh. It was with a lady. I forgot her name. Sorry. But he had to sit down, and he was talking about his career and talking about the low points of his career.
Of which there are many.
And he was just talking about at the lowest point where he had the injury. He didn't know. He honestly did not know whether he was going to come back from it or not. So he really had to grind. And then he was talking about all the outside noise of people saying he didn't love basketball. He didn't want to play and this and that. And I don't know if Stephen A took offense to that. He didn't say any names or whatever, but he came on First Take the very next day. And I guess his response to that interview was, it was all your fault. And he threw all these jokes in about, you're eating yourself out of whatever, Stephen A and how he does. And then the New Orleans Pelicans social media team responded with this.
Now, this man was a bona fide scrub. He can't play. No disrespect whatsoever, but I'm sorry to tell everybody the truth. The man cannot play the game of basketball. He has small hands. He can't catch the ball. He's got bad feet. He can't really move, even though he's mobile. Doesn't really know what he's doing. Doesn't have a post move that he puts to memory that he can do 2 times in a row. He has no game whatsoever. Plays no defense. Doesn't have the heart, the passion, or anything that comes with it.
That was a pretty horrible montage of sporting incompetence.
Yeah.
Like, dude, he was throwing up air balls, couldn't reach the catcher on the first pitch. That's bizarrely went down on the ground in the corner there.
That's elite work.
That is.
From that NBA. Shout out to the Pelicans. Now, Stephen A had a response this morning that I watched on First Take, and he was just talking about, the success, the hard work that he's done and took in the media space, and that he had an injury, and that's why he only averaged the 1.5 points a game. And
you know what you got to do, man? You just got to own that. No, I'm serious. Like, it's insincere. Like, I had an injury. That's why I averaged 1.5. Like, come on, dude. Come on.
At Winston-Salem State. Shout out to Winston-Salem, HBCU.
Not for giving him a scholarship. You should have, like, a retroactive penalty. Basketball program loses 3 scholarships for 5 years for at one time giving a scholarship to Stephen A. Nah, dude. I mean, seriously, 1.5 points.
Yeah.
Like, you can't do that. You can't do that at all, because here's the scenario. You can't average 1.5 points if you only played one game.
Yeah.
And if you went out there and played one game and scored 2 points and had a catastrophic injury from which you never recovered.
We
get it.
Understandable.
Yeah. But that's not what happened.
No.
You played at least 2 games.
Yeah, and most likely more than that.
Yeah.
If we did the research. But there's no point in doing
What great player ever averaged 1.5 over any stretch of time?
Yeah. Yeah.
If you're a great player, they let you play through that. Like when Steph was at Davidson, he had some crazy high turnover games, and sometimes he couldn't hit shots, but like the coach never thought of pulling him out.
Yeah.
We just got to live through this.
But
nobody was willing to live through the Stephen A experience at Winston-Salem.
No, you have to just own up to it. Yeah. I mean, like
that's my point.
Yeah, I know that's your. Yeah,
I didn't have the career that I would have liked to have had. I'm the 1.5 guy.
Yeah,
that's it. I'm smashing 10s, but at one point I was 1.5.
That's it, man. But I mean, as far as first of all, like I said, I think it's an elite post from the Pelicans social media team. Great job there. And then they had the after, because he tweeted after that. And then their response to that was just a picture of Max Kellerman. I also thought that was just fucking elite because, of course, they have this, this weird beef because Stephen A got Max Kellerman fired.
Yeah.
And so I thought that was elite as well. Whoever's running that, you have a job for a reason. So great job there. But
it'd be funny if like other team tried to lures that guy away now. like Boston's like, we got to get this guy.
He's number one right now. He's the best in the game.
Now there's a bidding war over social.
Man, he's the Wembyama, the fucking Jaylen Brown of team social media accounts.
That's awesome.
It's awesome. And but when you take a step back, of course it's all foolishness and because Stephen A is going to get on TV, he's going to talk about players and whatnot. But it is the personal aspect of it. When you're talking about guys, because he's talking about Zion hiding food under the bed. He's talking about, he said that Zion knows every cook literally in New Orleans, whether it's every restaurant and every grandma. And when you go on and on and on and you're making it that personal, and then a guy is out injured and he's working through things and really working hard to get back, which what we see this year is that he did work hard to get back. There's only one way that he can have this type of season that he's having now. I understand where Zion is coming from, but again, I mean Stephen A gets paid to talk about people, and
Stephen A does. I've seen him do this a couple times when things have got a little sticky. Is that like he'll kind of do this like I know things that I'm choosing not to tell people.
100%.
Like, it's kind of like I just dudes like that, man. I genuinely don't like him.
Yeah.
I don't like his content. I don't respect him as a man. I don't get it. I mean, if he got kidnapped and sex trafficked tomorrow, I'm not gonna miss him. I'm not gonna try and find him. Just
Yeah. I do get it, and I do understand. It's just weird. I mean, because it's like I'm a huge Chris Broussard guy. I mean, I probably listen to more of him, and I guess because he's tied to Nick Wright or whatever. But like I do wonder why not wonder, but it's just a shame that guys like that just don't get the type of spotlight guys like Stephen A. Smith do. But I do understand and know why.
Everything comes down to we're basically catering to like lowbrow, lowest common denominator people. And when you're kind of a loud shtick guy, that's always going to play better than a guy that has like reasonable, interesting takes. That's what it comes down to. Until we become more educated as a society and more discerning about what we define as entertainment or interesting or informative, Stephen A. is going to carry the day.
No, 100%. Last week, I almost brought up this thing here. So, you ever heard of To the Baja? It's a podcast.
No.
So it's a podcast that has
Definitely not.
Charlie Villanueva.
Okay.
It has I'm trying to think before I look at my phone. It has the
Should
short
have
short point guard
Jada Pinkett Smith on there too.
Charlie Villanueva. It has the short point guard that played with the New York Knicks. He played with let me just look it up. Damn. But anyway, they were beefing with Gil's Arena, Rashard McCants. And a part of the thing,
so an idiot.
Bingo.
He's a
so
real
that's
idiot.
the reason why I'm bringing this up.
Yeah.
Because like now Stephen A. is more of like on a national level because he's on national TV and all of that. And so, but in the podcast space, in the sport podcast, a quick way for these guys to come up and really dominate the views and the comments is to generate beef. And I honestly think that's what all of this is, because once every 2 months, a different podcast guy is beefing with another podcast guy. So Rashard, basically, this thing has been going on that Rashard McCants quit in a lot of his like pre-workouts. This talking about even before he made it to the NBA, and basically, Darren Williams came on To the Baja and basically had confirmed a story that Rashard McCants had quit in a pre-workout. Well, that's important because
pre-draft workout.
Okay. And said he basically that he faked an injury because he didn't want to play against this other guy because the other guy was basically better. And the reason why it's important because like a few months ago, maybe even a year now, Patrick Beverley had the same story in a separate instance, but this time they were in the NBA firmly, but just trying to get on another roster. And Rashard McCants quit in the middle of that workout. Now, of course, Rashard McCants is saying, no, I was hurt.
Of course he is.
This, and that. And Patrick Beverly's like, no, I was killing him. And this other guy was saying, whatever, it's killing him. And so they start going at each other, but they get real personal. And it's three people on the bar. Now, one thing I give Rashard McCants, it was messed up, but it was funny. And he was like, he's like the sick dude. He said nigga, but the sick dude, the ugly dude, and the fat dude. And I don't know why I thought that was so funny, but outside of that one funny moment that he had, it was all foolishness and just like he just refuses to like admit to. Yeah, I ducked the guy too. Like it's 1,000 years ago, and like who cares? But at the same time, my overall feeling on this is that they're generating beef and going back and forth and back and forth and back and forth and back and forth because they know it's generating views. Like, this is the most views to the Baja has ever gotten.
For sure, but we know that's a thing. Like we rap beefs, same shit. It's and that's where they get it from. That's the model. Is hey, we create a little beef, get a little juice, and people talk about us, they watch us, whatever. So I mean, it's a tired formula. Who should we beef with though, Bubba?
That's what I'm saying. I've honest to God, I've thought about.
Yeah, man. Who can we beef with, man?
I've thought about doing it with Blacks, their podcast.
Oh yeah.
The Gorilla Boys podcast. Maybe since Do What You Want to Do. They got Jim Jones. They're booming now. Or not Jim Jones, but Dame Dash.
Very intoxicated.
Since they got him.
Maybe that's the key.
Maybe we can poach some viewers off of them now. Since they're booming and start beefing with them.
Since they're superstars. Yeah. The two guys tell the same quitting story.
Yeah.
Like that you are a quitter. Now, let me tell you a story. My sister's ex-husband, they came down to Florida to visit, and we went up to Redbug Park to play basketball. My friend Coach Cower was with us, and we played, I think it was like 2s or 3s, and my sister's ex-husband was not a very good player, but like early in this, maybe they're 30 minutes, he claimed a knee injury. And at this point, you have to understand, at this moment in time, my mom is a huge fan of his. He's like a star of the family.
Can't do no wrong.
And Coach Cower, like, just comes over to me and goes, "Hey, I don't think this is going to end well. Like, who fakes an injury in 3-on-3 and now we can't play?" Truer words were never spoken. It all went to hell with him. They were divorced inside a year of this fake injury. But it reveals who you are. And I've always said, how you function in pickup basketball is a window into your soul.
You always say that.
And he was revealed.
Yeah, I never even thought about doing anything like that. And by the way, Julian Hodge is the one guy that he ducked in the pre-draft workouts.
Julian Hodge from NC
You remember
State.
that name?
Yeah. He played Denver for a while.
And then, yes. And then the point guard he played on Rashad McCants' North Carolina team. Does that do anything for you? He played on Rashad McCants.
Was it Felton?
Yes, Raymond Felton is on that to the bottom.
He was tough.
Yes, he was tough.
He had a weird physique.
Yeah.
And he kind of got fat late in his career.
Yeah.
But
so
I don't want to. Isn't. I'm not to say this disparagingly, because I'm a huge fan. But Felton, like, to me, him and D-Wash had some physical similarities. That was kind of what I thought.
Raymond Felton or Kyle Lowry?
Overall?
Yeah.
Kyle. Yeah.
Okay. Is it close or?
No, I think Kyle was ultimately more competitive.
Okay.
Better. And in terms of competitiveness, he took better care of himself.
Yeah.
And that becomes a part of the equation.
Yeah. Yeah, because he has that body frame. Like I can see when Kyle leaves the league in about 5 to 10, he's going to be fat.
He's going to be one of them guys that like people look at him and go, "You were in the NBA."
Yeah,
right. You're in the NBA for like 20 years.
Like he has that frame.
Hell yeah.
Like when I see Eric Snow, have you seen Eric Snow?
I'm sure he's fat as hell.
He's fucking huge.
The last time
like 300
I saw,
or something.
Yeah, I'm not surprised. His brother played football at Michigan State and was like a linebacker.
I didn't know that.
So they have some genes. Last time I saw Eric Snow, no lie, was Real Housewives of Atlanta.
For real?
Yeah.
Was he big
like
then?
season 1. Nah, he wasn't that big then. He was.
So this is a while ago.
That was a long time ago.
Okay.
He might have still been in the league, but like he had one of them damn wives. She wanted to start a charity. Like, of course, it was going to cost him some money for women with low self-esteem.
Oh, yikes.
Yeah, like that's a real charity. Come on, man.
Just throw your money down the drain. Why won't you?
Yeah, just to keep your wife happy.
We got a couple football topics here. You're still on the bench podcast with Bubba and Pink. All right. I thought this was very interesting. So The state of Mississippi is working to make NIL money tax exempt to gain a recruiting advantage for their schools over other states.
Now, I don't know the answer to this question, but I think Mississippi may have a state income tax.
I think so.
And when they're referring to that, are they referring to it would not be taxable in terms of state income tax? I don't know that the state of Mississippi would have the legal authority to say that there would be no federal income tax.
Yeah, I think they're just talking about the state.
That would be interesting.
Yeah.
Now, and I feel if it's a state decision and it's confined to the state income tax, I still don't like the idea, but I'm a little bit more okay with it.
But more I think about it, but the college players in Florida have to pay a tax, but there's no state tax.
There's no state tax, yeah.
But they pay tax on their NIL because this article, college players that are receiving NIL in Florida. Because when
what I'm saying, you everybody receiving NIL money is going to pay federal income tax.
Yes.
Some states, Florida, Texas, there may be a few others, I think Tennessee, do not have state income tax.
Well, the way I read this article is they will be the first
to legally do that.
But how I read it, and you may be right, maybe I'm misunderstanding something, because the way I read it was they would be the first, for this. So like how I read it was the teams in Florida, they don't have that advantage already. You know what I mean?
I don't know that that's correct.
Okay.
And what they may be the first to do is be a state that has a state income tax that they are now going to legislatively exempt NIL money from.
Bingo. Okay.
That could be what they're the first to do.
Okay.
Florida, Texas, Tennessee, I think Washington State, I think they do not have state income tax at all anyway. So they don't have to make any changes. Your NIL money is just taxed as though you would by the federal government at the appropriate rates.
Yeah.
So, but if somehow Mississippi's pretty backwards. I mean, if they found out a way to somehow exempt this from federal income tax as well, that's pretty wild.
Yeah. Let's hope Brett Favre is not a part of this in any way, shape, or form. But
well, he wants him to tax it so he can steal it. He don't want to have to chase down individual players. He just wants to steal from the state itself.
No, but I guess when more comes out about that, it'll be more to talk about, because it's just interesting.
It isn't. Well, but if you put in context what I just said, Florida, Texas, Tennessee, all SEC rivals.
Yeah.
So you may think, hey, this is a way
you got to keep up with the Joneses.
To keep up with the Joneses.
You have to.
Yeah. So now, and maybe Texas and Florida and Tennessee, they're telling these guys, well, hey, we'll give you $1 million NIL, and your federal income tax is 37%, but in Mississippi they're going to hit you with another 8%.
What's the chance that Lane Kiffin is spearheading this whole movement?
He's at LSU. He don't give a damn.
Oh, that's Louisiana. It's not Mississippi. Yeah.
He's not at Ole Miss anymore.
Not at Ole Miss anymore.
Yeah, he doesn't care.
Oh, maybe these things take a couple years. Maybe he did spearhead it initially.
Nah, I don't think this takes a couple years.
Oh, yeah?
Well, plus I don't know if it's a federal judge or a state judge, but they gave Trinidad Chambliss the extra year.
Yeah.
So they're going. I mean, the whole state is on board. Right there. I mean, maybe even the Klan's behind this.
I'm happy about that. Well, and the judge went to Ole Miss.
I'm not, dude. It's like, you're a damn good player. Go to the league.
He's not ready for the league.
He's not ready for the league.
He's not.
Oh God.
He's not. He definitely needs another year. Like, he's missing a year or two of development. He this is really his only true year of development that he had. That he, you know what I mean?
Wasn't he at a smaller school starting?
Yeah, but that's
so he got the starts in, man. That's what they say. You need 25.
What do you want him to be, Trey Lance? I mean,
he's got way more starts than Trey Lance.
I mean, that's if you don't count the small. He was at the small school.
Are we not counting Cam Ward's starts? At Incarnate Word or whatever.
We see how that's going.
He played well.
Cam Ward didn't play well this year.
Yeah, he did.
That's not
for
well.
what he had around him. He did.
That'll
Put
get
on
you.
your
That'll
big
get you.
boy-
That'll get you $2 on the. You know.
Put on your big boy pants and get to the league, man. I'm tired of all these cowards.
I want him to show up, his old ball coach again, and show that was a bad move, him leaving, and he should have stayed.
To go into Death Valley and beat Lane by 2 touchdowns.
That's just going to put a huge smile on my face.
Really?
I'm going to love that.
Okay.
Yeah, because I think they will. I think they are.
I'm off the Lane Kiffin banner. I do hope he doesn't have success, but I still want Trammels in the NFL.
Do you want Kyler Murray in the NFL?
No.
Because
Let's get right to it.
the Cardinals have informed Kyler Murray that they intend to release him on the first day of the league year, next Wednesday, barring a trade between then, okay? Now, there's been a couple of teams that have showed initial interest, not enough to do a trade, but if he's released and get him for cheaper, they will.
If you know he's going to be released, like the only thing you're doing is that you're afraid another team's going to grab him.
You're talking about if you make the decision to trade for him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the only reason, because you know he's going to be released. You could just take a swing at him as a released player.
Yeah.
Unless you know, like, you're basically going to be in a bidding war with another team.
And I think teams don't believe that. That's why I don't think he's going to be traded.
Yeah.
So Minnesota Vikings are a team that is, rumored to be in there. And then you have a couple of other teams that are just in the mix, like Miami Dolphins and a few other teams here. Now, there's going to be a market for Kyler Murray. There are going to be several teams. And he is the best quarterback, if you will, that is like available, and on the market. But I don't know. I just don't know if that excites me.
I'm not excited at all. I mean, I answered 3 seconds into the segment. I don't want to be. He just, like, again, he has a couple of like highlight plays, but he gets hurt a lot. He misses a lot of time. He's not proven, anywhere that he's like a good teammate or good leader. It's just not there, So what are we doing? Even if you acquire him and maybe get a season or two of decent play, the second you hire him, you already know you need to upgrade. This is not like, to me, this is not a situation where you're looking at like a Sam Darnold or even a Baker Mayfield, where like, it just went wrong at their original place and then they kind of were in the wilderness and now they've kind of found themselves. I just don't think this guy is the right guy. Just, whether it's the film study, whatever it is, you had every opportunity to grow and show progress, and literally year by year you played less football.
I believe in the talent, but I just cannot get over that contract. I just can't. I would like have to see him do well in the season, do well in the playoffs for multiple years before I get back on the train. I don't know. That contract did so much damage in my brain on the way I view Kyler Murray, because nobody has ever had to have that type of contract drawn up.
Yeah.
Like you can only play a certain amount of hours of the video game in the contract, and you have to do this amount of film study every week, or we get to void your contract. Nobody else has a contract like that.
And it tells you everything.
And
it tells you everything you need to know.
It does. And the Vikings, they're saying, reports are saying, that they feel McCarthy is what's the word? I just had it too. That he's immature. That he's immature. What shit? What do you think Kyler Murray is?
Captain Call of Duty.
So it's like you're going to and yes, I do believe he's a better football player, a better quarterback right now than McCarthy is. But it's like, I mean, you may be getting the same character of a guy in there. So it's like, I don't know,
worse.
Or even worse maybe.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
Yeah, I don't, and again, like, if it's been said, I haven't heard it, but over his entire pro career, have there been a lot of teammates to step up for him and say anything?
Like, no, he doesn't play a lot of Call of Duty. I never see him on there. Oh, he watches film. He's here. He's the first one in, the last one to leave. No, nobody.
I'll follow him anywhere. Like, even the Parliament House. Like, what's It's just, I don't get it. You didn't see that coming, did you?
I did not see that one coming. That's good. But yeah, because you usually would, there'll be a teammate or two to come out like, you guys have this guy all wrong, and now not a soul, man. I haven't seen a soul.
Yeah.
And so I don't know, man.
I just, if you're in the market for him, you're not in the market to win.
But the problem is, I mean, your other options. What you want, a 40,000-year-old Aaron Rodgers around?
But
do you want to?
He still wants to look good, so his wife will fuck him.
Like
that sums up where he is football wise.
Yeah.
That if that's foremost in his thoughts and not his next team, like that, it is what it is.
Yeah.
But like, okay, so like again, what teams are we like the Vikings? I mean, JJ McCarthy must be an idiot if this is what you're looking at.
Yeah.
Not just a little immature. He might be a genuine idiot if this is the guy you're looking to.
Yeah.
And what other teams are seriously looking at him?
Miami Dolphins, I said.
And who they're in a shit fest because they've got, Tua over there eating Hawaiian burgers and getting fat. Yeah, I don't know. I again, to me, you're looking at desperate teams.
Yeah.
And if that's all that's interested in you, you ain't anything.
But the problem is Minnesota does have a good team. That's why it's they're just in a shit situation.
Bring back Kirk Cousins.
Yeah, Kirk is going to be around. Yeah,
he's mature.
if not for anything else,
a little too mature.
not anything else.
It's trade for Dak Prescott.
There's a.
I don't even know why that's funny, but it is.
It is. There's two like backup guys who are picking up steam that people believe in.
Who?
Malik Willis. He did
play well
every
when
time.
He's had the opportunity, yeah.
And then the 49ers backup. Remember, he played well when Purdy was out.
Mac Jones.
Mac Jones. So those are two guys that may be better options than like a...
I believe in Willis more than Mac Jones.
I think so as well.
Yeah.
Because Mac Jones is hiding behind that 49ers. I mean, that offense is like, they do make almost anybody look good.
Yeah, because again, Jimmy Garoppolo hasn't looked good since he left there.
Right.
And if Purdy ever leaves, we'll find out who he really is.
I don't believe it'll be much.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mask off. But yeah, I don't. But Willis is intriguing.
Yeah.
Willis is intriguing,
and he's affordable.
Like, yeah, you'd think so. If you're a team, I would maybe take a look at him.
Yeah.
So.
Just while we're here on football, what are you thinking, or are you hearing anything about Cleveland?
I haven't heard a thing about Cleveland. McDuffie's getting traded apparently to the Rams.
Yeah, from the Chiefs.
Yeah. That's an interesting trade.
It is. The Chiefs, they got a lot back for him.
Yeah.
And the Rams are doing the repeat thing of fuck them picks, and making this Super Bowl run. I mean, their cornerbacks, that was one of their weaknesses on their defense last year.
Yeah.
Trent is I think he's a top 5 slot corner, but I mean he's also does well on the outside.
Yeah.
I mean, and the Chiefs, I mean, it's the bad part of the salary cap. You can't pay everybody.
I hate the cap.
You just couldn't pay them.
Yeah, I just hate the cap.
Yeah.
It's just horrible.
So cap casualty.
Yeah.
But at least you got a lot for them. The Giants were another team that was in that race. And so they actually added 2 more picks to beat out the Giants.
The Giants offer, nice. Okay.
Yeah. So at least you got that going if you're the Chiefs.
Yeah, but no, I haven't heard much of anything about Cleveland. I mean, apparently the guy they hired, Monken, wants to work with Shador and see if that's going to be.
Well, they said they're going to have a true battle.
Yeah,
but they also want to bring in another quarterback. That's going to be like 5 quarterbacks, because you got Deshaun, you got of course Shador,
Gabriel,
but then you also still have Gabriel, and I believe if I'm not mistaken, I believe the other guy's still on there too, that they bought in mid-season.
I'd be shocked if that guy makes it to camp if they're bringing in another quarterback.
Yeah. Yeah. No, he's not on it anymore. Yeah. So if you bring in another quarterback, I mean, that's just a shit show. I think they're in just a terrible situation where you just have to bank on Shador or Deshaun.
Well,
being something.
find a way to get rid of Watson, and then
you think so?
Yeah, he's never going to be a good player again. Never. He's been too far removed from playing well. We're literally
I think this is it for him.
Well, I'm saying it ain't happening. Like he's literally probably 4 years from playing good football. Like the last time he played good football.
Yeah.
That's not happening, man. You might as well bring in Kaepernick.
I mean, it's not even a joke, but yeah.
I mean, that's it. So he's done. You got to find a way to get rid of him. I mean, if you just pay him off, and tell him to go away.
Yeah. Let the team
then,
get Russell Wilson. Yeah.
Then if you want to bring in a third guy, then. But like again, who are you going to bring in? What are you going to bring in? Are you going to bring in like a true backup, or are you going to bring in a guy that to win the job? Like, what are you trying to do?
Like I heard Kirk was rumored for there.
Yeah.
But like you said, that makes sense. That only works though if you're going to definitely cut Deshaun.
Yeah, he's just
he's a log in the way.
He's clogging the toilet.
Yeah, he's clogging the toilet. He really is.
I did that too.
You guys have something in common.
Yeah. We went about it different ways, for the record.
Most definitely.
Yeah. So now Cleveland's just continuing to suck, and
what else is new?
Yeah, what else is new, and why should we care about a team that bad?
We shouldn't. Really quick here, Kuminga. Now, Dominique Wilkins mockingly thanks the Warriors for trading Jonathan Kuminga to the Hawks. He's been playing well over there, and it's just like, is this a bad look for Steve Kerr?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, to have a guy for 3 years, 4, and not be able to a guy of talent.
Yeah.
And not be able to find a way to integrate him consistently into the team.
On a team that desperately needed some talent.
That desperately needed a youth infusion, a talent infusion, and to not be able to figure that out, that's not good for Steve Kerr. There's no other way to look at it that you couldn't, figure this out in some way to make it work. And you're talking about a guy that you were given DNP CDs to. For extended periods of time.
That's tough.
It's insane.
That's tough.
It is insane. Now, I mean, the only way, the only viable thing is that if Kuminga's like a major asshole or has like a significant drug problem. Like, that's the only thing. Like that he's just a complete asshole, or he's got like a substance abuse issue.
No, I don't think he's hanging out with Paul George or anything.
No, not at all. I've never seen those two guys together.
Now, the one story I heard was that like his entourage would eat stuff out of the the refrigerator that everyone. That's just
that's petty.
It's
like
so silly.
Yeah, you think if Curry's wife wants to fucking extra croutons or something, they're gonna make a big deal out of this? No.
I do wonder. I mean, I know. Yeah. So I guess some coaches, they get this ick with some players that doesn't really go beyond, or that does go beyond the basketball court.
Right.
Because, like you said, he's a talented player. I'm just trying to figure it out because but for that guy to receive DNPs and you're playing Badinsky and
they're I mean, they just pull up any guy like this G Santos guy.
You know what I mean?
Who are these clowns? I mean, seriously, they just pull up random guys and give them minutes, start them, whatever, while Kuminga's getting a DNP CD. That's it doesn't make sense. And I've been a big fan of Steve Kerr, a big fan of the Warriors, but there's no way around this. This was a failure to not be able to get the bus. Now, you look at Wiseman, who was there, and young player, didn't get a lot of opportunities, moved on, but guess what? He continued to suck.
Yeah,
it becomes a very bad look now when you have him immediately step into a team and become a difference maker, become a positive impact on that team. That you have no defense anymore.
Yeah, they got very unlucky with that. Stephen Curry being injured that year and having the opportunity to get a top draft pick, number 2 in the next draft, and that was just a really bad draft at the top. You just get unlucky. Sometimes you get unlucky like that. Man.
Well, the last year they won the title though. They had between him, Moody, Poole, they had like the starting glory guys, and they had a bench mob of talented younger guys. And the future was legitimately bright coming off of that title. You're like, hey, they've got, the old guard who know how to win, these young guys just along for the ride. If you play this right, you start to transition, maybe Poole comes for Clay's spot, and maybe Kuminga comes in, for somebody else, or whatever, Wiggins or whatever. And that's what you're supposed to do. And they've just failed so miserably. And again, with Poole, you kind of look at the type of character he is, and you look at the relative failure he's had from leaving, and you kind of realize, hey, he was, for a while a positive product of the environment, and at the end of the day, he's a guy that spends too much money on first dates. But Kuminga, this is really bad. This is a huge red flag.
Yeah, especially like coming right off of the Jason Tatum thing.
Yeah.
And then you roll into the season and you do all of this stuff with Kuminga. It's like, it's just so fresh and so like, and then you become that guy who just doesn't see it. If we're talking about Kerr. Yeah, that's tough. Now, let me see here. Let me make sure I had everything, because I had something here at last.
We didn't have any shenanigans today?
The only shenanigan, I only have one shenanigan.
Oh, I can't go without a shenanigan.
Yeah, of course. That one shenanigan comes from here, man.
Oh.
The city of Orlando. Man arrested after Shadow Bay Park shooting. Now, this guy, we'll leave the name aside, but he plays at a lot of he hoops at a lot of places around here.
Yeah.
In Orlando. He hooped a lot at my the LA Fitness that I go to all the time to work out at. And it was an argument in the park, and he got into it with this other guy. He said, "You wait right here, I'll be back," and went to his car, went to the trunk.
This damn guy waited?
He waited, man. And he came back and shot the guy in the stomach. Now, this is a lot of bad parts about this. Now, number one, it's an outside basketball court, but at a park. So you got kids, parents. It's a busy park. So you got a guy. So it's such a busy park that they have a guy like they are working the park every day.
There's like a marshal.
Something like that.
Okay.
So as this is all going on and the commotion is starting, what this guy does is he goes to like where the kids and parents is at. He rushes to everybody and he clears the park out. You guys get in your cars and leave. Like this is all. Yeah, this is all on the
after
news
the shots fired.
No. As the commotion is going, when there's a big basketball commotion, you could see, I guess, even from the outside, you see guys getting huddled up, and you see guys woo, and then as he's saying, I guess he's saying out loud too, I go get my gun and this and that.
Yeah.
Marshall goes, clears the parents, hey, run, go get to your cars now, get in your cars, leave. And he's able to do that. And the lady on the news, she's explaining how he's doing that. And then he comes back with the gun, and does a bunch of shit talking, waves around, and shoots the guy in the stomach. Not like right up on him, but like whatever. I'm listening to just watching the lady how she's explaining it. Yeah.
You think he's a better shooter with the gun or the ball?
I would. I've seen him play. I would definitely have to say the gun.
Okay.
And my thing on this is because I looked this up. So they're charging him with aggravated battery with a firearm. Now in Florida, and I think I know you're the lawyer. I could have just asked you. Could have just said this, but I looked it up. So aggravated battery with a firearm in Florida is a second-degree felony, generally punishable up to 15 years in prison, 15 years probation. But the 10-20 life law is possession, 10 years minimum. Discharge, which he did, is 20 years minimum. And then death or great bodily harm is 25 years to life. So I don't know. I know the guy didn't die, not death, but great bodily harm. I mean, he shot him in the stomach.
Yeah, I
he
would
got him.
assume, yeah.
So either way, 20 years or 25 years. He's 37, 38 years old. Your life is essentially over. It's over.
Yeah, you get out and you're about 55 or 60.
You're roughly 60.
Yeah.
With a terrible, like, that's a bad charge and a bad record. You know, it's tough for us to get a job like with nothing, and you're going to be damn near 60, broke. I'm pretty sure your girl has fucked 1,000 guys between this time.
But you could probably still get some Viagra.
And do what?
Make a comeback.
What? Screw homeless 70-year-old ladies on the street? I mean, what are you going to do? You have nothing.
Well, if you have nothing, you got them.
And it's less like you're just throwing away whatever little that you have already for what? A guy, you fouled the guy hard, or a guy fouled you hard? Like, what are we talking about?
Oh, you're talking about logic now.
Huh?
You're talking about logic now.
I'm talking about logic.
Yeah, this should never happen. This is bad on every level. You should never be willing to shoot a guy over a basketball game. It's just, again, for many reasons, it's not worth it. You know, like you said, you end up in jail, you throw a massive chunk of your life away. I mean, as much as I love basketball, at the end of the day, it's a game. You know, it's going to have some ups and downs. It's going to have, you know, some bullshit calls, some bad results. And if you can't handle that, you shouldn't be playing, like, quite literally. And then you kind of back out. It's like, you know, you're in a public park. You've you know, potentially endangered these kids. And shout out to the marshal of the park for getting kids to the extent he could get out of the way. That's good for him. The other thing that this also does, and again, we've been in the middle of this movement where all these fucking gyms are ripping basketball out. What do you think this story does? This heightens that. I mean, I hate to say it. I hope it doesn't happen, but I'm not surprised if a few more of these pussy ass gyms close basketball because of this, even though it didn't happen there. And so you're doing a disservice to the whole fucking basketball community with your selfish actions. And then, why did the guy wait?
Yeah. I
mean, if anybody threatens you with harm and tells you to wait, you do the opposite.
Yeah, because
I mean, in all seriousness, like
it becomes a machismo,
some tough guy thing.
It becomes a
to
tough
stand
guy.
there. I'm going to stand there, like whatever.
Yes.
Well, unless you have a firearm as well and a quick trigger, you're going to lose.
Yeah, it becomes a tough guy. It becomes a tough guy machismo thing. That's what it becomes.
Yeah, I know.
Because it's like, oh, you ran, like, you know, it's that is dumb. It's dumb too.
Here's the thing: you ran. Who else is going to tell you to run? Sun Tzu, one of the greatest military strategists to ever live. Any special force person will tell you to run in this situation. Like, no person who has real life combat fighting experience is going to tell you to do anything other than get out of the way, run, disappear, vanish. That's the play.
Yeah.
You have a deranged guy, you don't have a weapon, and you're in front of other people that could get harmed if there's a miss. Like, do everybody a service and run. It's not time to stand on business.
At all. I'm in the car with some of those kids. I'm going as going can be. And so that was terrible on that side too. And I mean, he's gonna, you know, recover, but I don't know, a stomach shot. I gotta imagine he can't eat any chicken or ribs for a little while. You know, and I guess true. You know,
or perhaps grits.
And then you don't even get money for it. You just shot in the fucking stomach. I mean, it's like it's just screwed.
No, I mean,
so I guess that's punishment for staying.
Like, the reason why is like there's no insurance out there for intentional criminal acts.
Yeah.
Like, if the guy's got a homeowner's policy, it's not covering him for shooting a guy.
Yeah.
Like, no policy. It's not attached to his vehicle. So there's no insurance to pursue. You're basically out of luck in terms of any financial recovery. But yeah, it's a terrible story, completely unnecessary story. And again, if you're a guy that cannot take the ups and downs of the game, don't play. Do everybody a favor and don't play.
Don't play and whatever's just happened to fighting, man. Just what happened to just you have a disagreement? If you have to, I don't want to fight over basketball or any. I don't want to shoot over basketball.
But that's where happened. But that's where I'm at though. I don't even want to entertain the fighting over basketball. It's just not the way to go.
Definitely not. But like. This guy is a nice sized guy. I don't know if you could tell from that picture, but
no, I think I've seen the guy.
Like he's a nice sized guy.
Yeah.
So like I don't even understand how that's like you get into a heated argument and the very first thing you think about is I'm gonna go to the car and get a gun. Like, you know what I mean? Like that doesn't even prove that you're a tough guy. I mean, little 5-year-old babies can got enough strength to pull a trigger and hit anything. Like I don't know how that became such a thing that makes you tough. And
that is gun culture.
Yeah,
that is what like a lot of people having easy access to guns. It becomes your shield. It makes you bolder in these situations because psychologically you think you've got this thing with you that's going to win the day if it needs to. And that it inflates your sense of toughness.
100%.
And that's one of the many reasons that I despise guns. But that's right up there, though. When people have a gun, they just feel tougher. They walk different. They talk different than when they don't. And that's part of why you end up having this situation. Yeah. Access to guns. Like, well, what does this guy need a gun for? What does he do day to day?
Now, the guy who got shot, he has to find the girlfriend or wife of the shooter, and he has to plow her, and he has all three, and he has to do it while the guy that's in prison calls on the recorded line.
FaceTime.
I don't know if they get FaceTime.
Okay.
Do they during the business?
Maybe carve out an exception.
Maybe carve out an exception. If they're married, they probably do get FaceTime.
If Mississippi can tax exempt NIL money,
I
think we could find a way to FaceTime this.
Because right now you're just shot in the stomach.
How bad is it though? Like if you really have a bad performance,
it doesn't matter. It doesn't.
It does matter.
No, it doesn't matter.
You're FaceTiming and you like. You're talking 3 holes, and you get 3 strokes, and you're checked out.
It doesn't matter.
Bubba, come on.
I'm doing this to your old lady, and you're in prison.
What exactly did you do? I mean, like, come on, man.
I'm going to get another shot at this.
You think?
You're not. I'm going to get another shot at this.
No, I'm telling you.
Matter of fact, stay on the phone while I recharge. And get ready for this second round.
Bubba, you would be buried in your own shame. You would be buried. You'd be going back and thinking your whole life over, man. That was your moment, man.
It was.
Damn, you were gonna be a master coxman, and
I mean, it'd be best if you Ron Jeremy it or whatever.
It would be necessary. But what's this guy Jason Love tearing up all the coochie?
But
I put in a shift, man.
I think anything is could make a point.
I don't know, man. You don't want to come out of there thinking less of yourself.
But yeah, what a terrible situation. It was another situation that happened about a month or so ago. I saw Jenkins post about it, about a guy who bought a gun into just the gym where everybody works out at.
You told me about that, right?
Yeah. We didn't talk about it on the show, but I had called to talk about it because it was at the one in Altamont. And he didn't shoot, he didn't discharge it, but yeah, he had but this guy was really deranged because the reporter said that he just didn't like how somebody was lifting the weights, and he came back in and was waving his gun around. And
bad squatting technique, and you trigger a guy up to get it.
So it's like they're just letting these lunatics walk around with these guns, and it's just not.
That's the art of the Second Amendment, man. That's what it's all about. That's why I've been against it all this time.
Yeah, it's crazy, man.
I mean, we don't even trust the average person to have an opinion on basketball. Why should we trust them with a gun?
Absolutely do not.
Think about that.
Well, that has been the show for today. We'll catch you guys next week.
Yes. Oh, Jesus.
Listen, man, I hit a bitch one time, man, the baby was bouncing all over the bed.
Cut through the texture of pasta, I stretch to the father. My demons can't be stressing my daughter. Sweat beanie Hana, know it's a rap. Wet enchilada.
Deion Sanders is the greatest football player, arguably, to ever live. Ed Reed, the greatest safety, arguably, to ever live in the entire universe. All right? Why y'all not going on live? Miami been trashed for fucking how long now? God damn.
I like you got on some skates in. I like you got on some skates in. I like you got on some skates.
I want somebody in the event, something like, say like, I love oxtail. If I can eat some that tastes like oxtails while I'm down there, just for that moment.
He's on my back, you know what I mean? And, you know, I think, you know, I feel like his thing is like on my on my neck.
I've had two guys.
Same time?
No, I'm not that girl.
Man. The best motherfucking podcast in Orlando, Florida.
You already know.
We
the
appreciate
Sunshine
it.
State, man.